Hi, it's Kat. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a book haul for you, and the thing is that I love to go through op shop bookshelves. It's like one of my favorite things in the whole world. However, we have many op shops where I live. The problem is that I live out in country Australia. I don't think it's country because we have a lot of amenities, but it's not a big city. So the pickings are often very slim. So in the last year, I have found and bought 7 physical books from my op shops, and I want to share them with you. Okay, in no particular order, we are just going to talk about the books that I have gotten. So this is Skellig by David Almond. Check out this freaky deaky cover. So it pulled me in because I thought that it might be a biblical angel story. I really love seraphs and the ones with all the many eyes. Michael was looking forward to moving house. It was all going wonderful. But now his baby sister's ill and his parents are frantic and Dr. Death has come to call. Michael feels helpless. Then he steps into the crumbling garage. What is this thing beneath the spiders, webs, and dead flies? A human being or a strange kind of beast he's never seen before. The only person Michael can confide in is Mina. Together they carry the creature out into the light and Michael's world changes forever. So, yeah. Sad things are happening in his family and he finds this creepy little creature thing in the garage. It immediately pulled me in, and what else was really interesting to me is that this is a book that's commonly read in Australian schools. So I'm interested because I'm always fascinated which books countries choose for their school kids to read. Like obviously in America, we all read Romeo and Juliet, Catcher in the Rye, The Great Gatsby. It's not that I don't like classics. In fact, I keep a spreadsheet, I've kept it my whole life, of all the classics I have read, and I have tiers of like, loved them, liked them, read them for a purpose, didn't like them, hate them, burn them in a fire. And it just is really interesting to me that a lot of the ones we read in school aren't necessarily the ones that like I have loved. In fact, a lot of the Catcher in the Rye, I just hate Catcher in the Rye. I hate Catcher in the Rye. So anyway, I'm really interested by what books different countries read. And obviously I'm most interested in Australian school books because I have a 2.5-year-old daughter and she obviously will be going to school. So I'm keen to see what's out there because my husband, who is a teacher, has reported that a lot of the books that have been in the high school and middle school canon, like in the past, are of course coming of age stories for white boys, which is not my favorite. So now that I'm thinking about it, this does probably feature a white boy, but it does have a creepy element, so we'll see. Yeah. Next up is another one set in Australia. This is Past the Shallows by Favel, Parrett. This one has to do with 3 brothers who live on a remote coast of Tasmania. The brothers' lives are shaped by their father's moods. Like the ocean, he fishes for abalone. He is a bitter man warped by a devastating secret. So all the reviews mentioned how absolutely stunning it paints the coastal scenery of Tasmania. I've never been to Tasmania. I'm hoping to go with my family in the next few years when my daughter is old enough to enjoy it. And yeah, so this really got my attention. It's won like every single award ever. I don't know if you can see on the cover, but yeah. Okay. So I also have Dark Mode by Kalagian-Blunt, which is a departure from what we've just been talking about. Ooh, it matches my shirt really well. This is a mystery thriller set in Sydney, which I talked about recently because I'm reading it for the Giallo readathon, which I'm doing in July. This is about Regan, who has lived her entire life offline. Nothing. No pictures, no photos, no social media, nothing. And that's because something happened in the past and she is like hiding from it. When suddenly she turns down a laneway in Sydney and a dead body is there in front of her that looks exactly like her. She's worried that things are coming from her past to haunt her, and when more bodies are uncovered and they look like her, it's confirmed. So I think it sounds really, really good, and I will be getting to it next month. Okay, another one I picked up is Sight by Jessie Greengrass. The cover is really, really beautiful. To be honest, the cover is half of the reason why I got this. So it says, a woman recounts her progress to motherhood while remembering the death of her own mother and the childhood summer she spent with her psychoanalyst grandmother. Woven among these personal recollections are significant events in medical history. The discovery of the X-ray and his production of an image of his wife's hand, Sigmund Freud's development of psychoanalysis and the work that he did with his daughter, John Hunter's attempts to set surgery on a scientific footing, and his work as a collaborator with his brother, and the anatomy of pregnant bodies. It just sounds like, it just sounds like it's one of those books where I'll read the first chapter and I'll know pretty immediately if I'm going to really like it and be interested, or if it's going to be boring and I'm not going to want to read it anymore. So either way, we'll see. I know that it's kind of a Marmite book. That's what they say here, like a Marmite book, because it's divisive, even though I think Vegemite is divisive. So I'm gonna call it a Vegemite Marmite book. Who knows if I'll like it or not. So next up is a book that I got the other day. The cover just absolutely drew me in. Look at this. Look at this. Stunning, 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 stunning. So it says, imagine being cursed with visions of the imminent deaths of the people you love the most. You would do whatever you could to stop the dreams becoming a reality. Following the narrator's disastrous attempt to save a childhood friend from drowning, a series of terrifying events begin to unfold. So, I think it sounds really interesting, and I just could not pass up this cover. It is so, so pretty. So the last two books that I have to talk about are books I picked up today. I was very lucky. I just happened to go in a shop randomly, and they had two books that have been on my list. These other books that I've talked about, all four of the previous books, like I've barely heard before, if never heard before, and it's just like a random lucky chance. These two are actually on my TBR, so I was amazed to see them in the shops. This is Young Mungo by Douglas Stuart. This is a historical fiction, but with heavy queer elements and dark themes, which is where it gets me. So it says, born under different stars, Protestant Mungo and Catholic James live in a hyper-masculine world. They are caught between two of Glasgow's housing estates, where young working-class men divide themselves along sectarian lines and fight territorial battles for the sake of reputation. They should be sworn enemies if they're to be seen as men at all, and yet they become best friends as they find a sanctuary in the dewcot that James has built for his prize racing birds. As they begin to fall in love, they dream of escaping the Grey City, and Mungo must work hard to hide his true self from all those around him, especially from his elder brother Hamish, a local gang leader with a brutal reputation to uphold. But the threat of discovery is constant, and the punishment unspeakable. When Mungo's mother sends him on a fishing trip to a loch in western Scotland with two strange men behind whose drunk banter lie murky pasts, he needs to summon all his inner strength and courage to get back to a place of safety, a place where he and James might still have a future. It sounds like it's going to absolutely rip my heart out and leave it tattered on the floor. Yeah, this sounds like Sebastian Barry's Our Endless Numbered Days to me, where its historical forces are really set against them. There are dire, violent repercussions if they are found out. There's nothing you want more than to see them happy and together, but due to the times, due to the people around them, you know that there's gonna be so much strife and trauma to wade through before that's possible. I suspect that this is gonna make me cry. We will see. And then the last one that I picked up is Mongrels by Stephen Graham Jones. I don't know if I need to talk about why I want to read this. It's Stephen Graham Jones. I really, really like his imagination, but his writing style sometimes is hit or miss for me. So I'm hoping that this one will obviously be a hit. So it says, for 10 years, he and his family have lived a life of late-night exits and narrow escapes, always on the move to stay one step ahead of the law. Born as outsiders, they live in the shadows, making their way in a society that does not understand or want them. but soon his family will all find out just how like them he really is. So I'm intrigued. I don't know anything more than that. So is this a werewolf book? Is it not? Are they violent? Are they werewolves? Yeah. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Let me be surprised. Also, the cover is so awesome. And also, sorry if I'm giving you a heart attack with all the stickers. I don't care about them, so I don't peel them off. I don't care. So yeah, that is the haul. Those are all the books I bought in the last year. Like I said, where I live, there's a lot of authors that I don't really love. So yeah, it's just always really lucky if I can find a book that interests me, and I can't believe I got these two today because I wasn't expecting it, and I was like, oh my god, that's so lucky. It's a lucky day. Also, after that we went to the library and picked up some of my reserves that I have, and yeah, so I'm just having an absolute banger of a day today, and I hope that you are as well. Let me know the last book that you bought a physical copy of. I think that's a cool question. So yeah, my last one was obviously these two because I bought them at the same time. I'm just really happy and thrilled about it. So yeah, I will see you later. Lots of love. Bye.